Hey y'all, I had to get myself together for a minute. Jay has had me cracking up, giggling. Oh, we're going to talk about it. I was going to wait till she finished, but I need to be done in 2.5 hours, and I'm going to be redirecting you to Duchess. Duchess will be doing a live stream tonight with an update on the Scott Spivey case. If you don't know, now you know. So at 5 p.m., she will be coming on. But I want to talk about this whole situation with Hidden True Crime. I want to talk about the comments on the video because people are comparing it to BJ. Wouldn't you know? And a whole lot more. So I want to talk about it. Put your feelings aside on this live because we're going to have to just get real on some stuff. And people aren't probably going to like it because there's a lot of feelings, it seems like, with a lot of this, and it doesn't need to be. So let's go. Cash, before you run off, thank you so much. I will definitely get Hank a toy, whiskey, a bourbon. That cat is a mess. Thank you. Seriously. And I will definitely give him a hug, except Kiki. I won't kick him because then I'll be called a cat kicker. But thank you, Cash. Thank you so much. Hey, Pika. Hey, Reese Jam. Hey, Kay. Cash, Carolyn. Alma, because Cash asked for a short name. Are you stuck for 14 days now? Is that what I'm seeing? Whoops. Whoops. Oh no. That's hysterical. You two are goofy. All right. Hey, Wise Mom. Hey, Catherine. Petunia. Janice in Accounting. Lip Locked. Rafa, Miss Cheese. I feel like I need to do a disclaimer in the beginning. Barn life is the only life. I disagree, Barn life. We'll probably disagree on a lot of this, which is fine. But I'm not really into the whole feelings thing, and this is where the true crime community, to me, is just kind of like, Miss Cheese, yeah, hold on. Let me get through this and then I'll start talking. Hey, Petty. Hey, Oh My Lanta. Well, there's that. Okay, so first and foremost, disclaimer. You're going to need to put your personal feelings aside for this live stream. This has been brewing in the true crime community. I don't know why this is shocking. I think I'm more shocked about the performance of the whole situation. I like Lauren. So let me be very clear. I really like Lauren. Lauren is one of the few creators that I do go to for ethical coverage on especially stories in Utah around the LDS because she is very well versed in those communities. She was raised LDS. I do not think she is necessarily a part of the LDS religion as in practicing currently, but she is still very connected. She actually was on Mormon Stories podcast with John Dehlin, who I absolutely adore, John. I would absolutely give her that a view. It gives you a lot more insight into who Lauren is. And there's a lot of things I connect with personally with Lauren. So I like her. So what I'm about to say upcoming isn't because of me not liking her, me not thinking she's professional. She's absolutely professional in a lot of capacity. I will give her that. But you got to remember, in this space, especially in this like weird offshoot space, there is so much competition. And I've never met more women that are completely insecure, jealous, will do anything, cutthroat, especially Utah practicing Mormons. Again, nothing against Mormons, but in Utah, there is this pursuit of perfectionism. And if Lauren is no longer as connected and she is exposed to a lot of these things, there's going to be a little overlap there too. And one of the people that has been doing stuff to her is still a practicing Mormon, and that needs to be acknowledged. People say it's irrelevant. No, it's not. No, it's absolutely not. Not in these spaces. It's absolutely not. There's a lot of jealousy. But I also have to say, what true crime channel do you guys know of that's a big true crime, like 500 plus thousand, that hasn't been in some controversy? I know some of you are fans of Annie Elise. I can't stand her. And she is absolutely, was or is still controversial. Now, as far as the law and crime piece of it goes, hello, law and crime isn't it for the entertainment? Hold on just a second. Sorry, Hank's package just got here. So, hey, Duchess, I'm hurrying through this to get done before your stream. So give me a second. Hank knows I got his treats in my hand. Just a second. I got to open this package. Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I don't like Annie Elise at all. Never have, never will. Thank you. Janice in accounting. The yak shoes just got here. I really like Lauren. Hidden True Crime is who Lauren is. Lauren Matthias. No, I'm going to rush through it. No. Because I'm redirecting to you. So I personally like her. I find her to be very ethical in this space compared to a lot of people in the true crime genre. Now, she is one that goes to trials and stuff. So I want to preface all of this by saying, like, this isn't my personal, I'm not doing this because I dislike Lauren. It's quite the opposite, actually. I really like Lauren. But I think this is going to make the situation worse than what she probably intended. And I would hope she doesn't intend for the outcome that I think is going to come from this. But I think it's coming. And we're going to go talk about it. And I am going to compare a little bit to the BJ situation, because guess what? Her people are in the comment section over there saying all sorts of weird shit. So we're just going to look at this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're about to. Buckle up. This is the start of her video.
Nervous for a live in my entire life, and I've done a lot of lives or a show in my entire life. And this is not a live or a show that I ever wanted to do or ever thought I would have to do. And this has been ongoing for months, what I have been dealing with. This is not drama. Hidden True Crime doesn't get involved in drama. We stay very clear from that. And those of you that know us know that. So I hope that nobody calls this drama ever again. In fact, it's so real life what has been going on with my family and with me for months that I decided to go to where I felt would protect me. And that was the courts and legal. And I filed a civil stalking injunction because what was happening to me and my family met Utah's civil stalking injunction code. The stalker was in Utah.
Okay, now one thing I will say, and I'm not comfortable with this, and the reason I asked this earlier in Jay's, I don't feel comfortable calling this woman a stalker. And the reason I say that is, yes, she was granted a temporary order in Utah. Okay, she was, but she withdrew that. She did withdraw that stalking injunction. So therefore, that's not really where we can say that I don't have enough proof to say that she was stalking her. And I'm talking about the laws, and you guys are probably going to like where I'm going to. I know it. I know why she gets it. But again, the recordings she shows are from public spaces. That's not stalking. You can, unfortunately, as much as we don't like it. And here's the thing, people got to recognize these people are profiting off of pain. Their job is to document in detail moments of victims' worst moments, their families' worst moments. Again, I like Lauren. I think she's way more ethical about it. But everything she has showed is in a public space. So when we start using terms like stalking and harassing, you're kind of running into. Now, I can understand her fear. I think she's absolutely got valid concerns here. But what she's showing publicly and calling somebody a stalker, my stalker, when you withdrew your complaint, I think we're in a little bit of a predicament here. That's where, I don't know. I think this is going to explode into a huge drama fest. I really do. Because she names a lot of people in this, and I expect there to be a lot of rebuttals. I feel really bad for Lauren and her family. I'm sure this is heavy. I'm surprised she hasn't experienced some of this before. Maybe she has. I just think that this is going to go a different direction than she anticipates.
And it was very clear to me that that was the step that I should take.
Yes.
And I was granted.
That would be correct. Even then, oh my Lanta, Petty, I'm not saying there wasn't a valid, you're ahead of me here. Don't jump ahead. I'm not saying that she didn't have a reason to file that, and I'm not saying she doesn't have a reason to withdraw. But I'm saying right now, if you want me to feel bad here, then why were cameras in the courtroom when Katie and Chris had to get or attempt to get restraining orders on Betty? Same form. Pool cameras were requested. They are private citizens, victims with a missing child. So this is the environment that they created. The true crime community has created this need for information. Law and crime is entertainment. Law and crime is absolutely in it for the entertainment. Are you shocked that they would fill out a pool camera request form to do this? They post shit that's entertainment to them. They don't give a shit about what it does to victims. When have they ever? They've inlay fucking ad reads in the middle of their shit. One of the grossest ad reads still to this day that I've ever seen was from Annie Elise. She's talking about a woman being horrifically stabbed and murdered in a gruesome scene and like in a bed. And the next thing you know, she does an ad read for sheets. I've never been so disgusted. But this is what the true crime community has created, was this need for information, this urgency to know every detail of what's going on. And I don't agree with it on any level. I don't agree with it for Lauren. I don't agree with it for the actual victims of these crimes. But this is where the true crime genre, it's not about the true crime or the victims. It is about entertainment for 99.9% of these people. And I hate that Lauren and her family are experiencing this. And I get why they pulled that from Law and Crime. I absolutely agree with her reason for doing that. That's weird to me. But she's not the first. And to recognize it with Lauren and not to recognize it with what's going on with the actual victims is crazy to me. Yeah, I can't stand Annie Elise. Yeah, no. So I like Lauren as her work, her journalism, whatever you want to call it, her podcast. I've disagreed with her highly on some of her coverage as far as like what her perception is of innocent versus guilty, things of that nature. But that's pretty typical. But she, in this space, is way more ethical, what we see out front, than a lot of them. And that I can give her.
A temporary civil stalking injunction after I filed my evidence and my exhibits.
Now, and I want to make a huge note too. The comparison that people like, and I'll show you the comments and read you some of them. People are trying to compare this with Brittany J. In fact, let me grab this. Thank you so much. I'm going to send you. That was really sweet. I don't want to say. You know who sent me that. Thank you. Okay. Here's one of them. Lucky Lou Coco 2 says, this is happening to a small creator in true crime. First of all, stop. BJ will never be true crime. Brittany J is not true crime. She is nowhere even remotely in comparison to hidden true crime Lauren. She is not even remotely in the same vicinity. So making that comparison, or her people in Lauren's comments looking for some sort of notification, Heather, thank you, just grosses me the fuck out. But listen to this. This is happening to a smaller creator in true crime, allegedly with Brittany J. But way worse. They stalk her 24/7 online. They have called CPS, her physician, the police, etc. There are about 8 YouTubers who built a community on harassing her on every social media platform. That is one of the comments in Lauren's comment section. Brittany started talking about it last night, and I played a clip last night when she was talking about another case that she has had. BJ was talking about herself, has the worst case of bullying ever on the internet. There's a huge significant difference here with what's going on with Lauren. First and foremost, this is her business. This is an actual business. BJ has no business sense. She calls it a career, but has no concept of what an actual business is. Hidden true crime is a business and recognized as such. BJ is not. Huge difference. These people were friends with Lauren, employees of Lauren, people she knew face to face. These are people that she had contact with face to face, who are making face to face contact and harassment to this day. Nobody, absolutely nobody, has gone anywhere around BJ. Not even, I mean, she doesn't leave her home, so there's that. But she has not had anybody stalk her whatsoever. Reviewing her public commentary and pushing back on what she does is never going to be stalking. Sorry, just not. It's just not. And to even try to make that justification and telling Lauren that BJ's case is worse, the fucking audacity. The audacity to me. These people are people in Lauren's life. Unfortunately, friendships that have ended. You can't even compare anybody that reviews BJ to what Lauren's situation is. There's just no comparison here. There really isn't. Professional business, shit-stained YouTuber who kicks families at their worst time. Lauren has at least professionalism behind it. Does that make sense to you guys? Do you see where I'm saying?
Before the judge. That was served. And my stalker was served.
And this is where I don't know if... This is where I think it's going to be confusing. Because, again, I understand why she withdrew her complaint. So Law and Order couldn't film it. That's fucking weird to me. But calling her a stalker and continuing to call her a stalker off a temporary order, I think is possibly going to come back and bite her in the ass. I don't know. I think we're just on the tip of this iceberg. Off topic, we have to chat soon about doing a live for charity. Yes, Alma, we do. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's nowhere close. But here, you want to know another one? You want to know another crazy comment? Oh my God. Lauren, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. If it helps to know, this channel, Mommy Ramblings blog, went through the same thing. Although her court was not televised, I find it disgusting that anyone would do this. I pray for you and your family. Okay, I'm not a Mommy Ramblings expert in any way, shape, or form. But let me just tell you, the little bit I've known and the little bit I've seen, that is an inaccurate description. But this is what people are doing in her comment section. Yeah, that's what I think too, B-Tim. I think it does. I think it's going to. I really do.
A temporary civil stalking injunction. Thank God. And the next step.
I just wish, I wish this wasn't what happened. Lauren, I wish this wasn't what you did.
To that, after filing a civil stalking injunction, is to hope to make it permanent.
Right, Miss Leah?
And that was going to be on Thursday.
I unfortunately see JK. I think we're going to start seeing that more and more. I really do. And I'm going to take you back to this moment.
Was due to an increased fear because of the danger from threats.
Local news media got cameras in during Chris and Katie's and the Bower Sox. These are private citizens that had to seek protections from a YouTuber, and local Tennessee courts allowed them to have cameras in the courtroom. I think you forget this is what the true crime genre has been pushing for. It's transparency. They FOIA everything. They put out, there's no boundaries, and they make huge money doing this to victims and their families. And I don't know how Lauren expected any different for her situation when this is happening to victims and their families. And I think we're going to see more and more of this. I hate to say it.
Harassment and as well as trespassing.
The family of a missing Sumner County teenager
and Betty went from Florida to Tennessee to do this.
Made their case today against a YouTuber who's been covering the case of Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. They claim Bullhorn Betty stalked and harassed their family despite orders of protection. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6.
No, she didn't, Hannah. No, she didn't. She said her name numerous times. She slipped it in there. She said Christina numerous times. She got it in there. I watched the entire 9 hours. Miss Leah sent me on a mission and I accepted. And again, anybody that knows me knows that this is one of the channels for true crime I do like. And I love her take on the Mormon stuff because she is absolutely in the know. And I'm super sad that this is anything that they are even experiencing. However, I'm not shocked in any way, shape, or form. That competition is no joke. Like, it's competitive in this little sector. People self-promote. They it's so fucking weird. If you guys only knew some of the shit that goes on, it would disgust you with some of these people.
I'm Bob Mueller.
And if they think you're stepping on their toes, they're out to get you instantly. If they feel a little bit competitive, you get the cold shoulder.
Haley Wilgus, News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry was in court as a judge decided whether a criminal case against the YouTuber should move forward.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
And I remind you of this because I think it's important for people in the true crime genre to remind themselves that this is what they've been pushing for, is access to everything. This is parents of a missing child that we don't have any evidence right now to say that they're guilty of anything. Everything's on the table. I have no idea what happened to Sebastian. No clue. But this is because a YouTuber, an independent journalist, thought it was her right to do this.
Yes, sir.
For about an hour this afternoon.
And no, Lauren doesn't do this kind of stuff to families. But she still is in that genre. And this is what they've been pushing for. Not Lauren herself. but this is where we are headed.
Katie and Chris Proudfoot testified against YouTuber Andra Griffin, also known as Bullhorn Betty, claiming she violated the terms of 3 order of protections.
Are you tagged in this video?
I am.
Is your full name tagged in this video?
It is.
She's reporting a bunch of lies. She's harassing me,
I'm not
harassing my
asking
family.
about.
Sebastian Rogers' case gained national attention from news outlets and social media users after he disappeared from his home in Hendersonville last year. Griffin, with her 38,000 subscribers, was one of those YouTubers covering the case.
Ms. Griffin has reported, I would say frequently, on the disappearance of your son, Sebastian. Is that right?
Daily, sometimes multiple times a day.
In August, Sebastian's mom and step-grandparents were given an order of protection against the YouTuber after they say she stalked and harassed them. Griffin.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of Bullhorn Bettys up and coming. More and more think it's their right to do what Betty, Dolly, JLR, and so many others are doing.
Was then banned from having any contact with the family, directly or indirectly. But the Proudfoots told the court that same day Griffin violated the terms by talking about them in a YouTube live stream and including their names in hashtags.
After this case is said and done, I will be going after the Proudfoots and the Ballastops for damages.
Immediately, we showed our phones to Detective Bynes and said, look, it's already started.
The initial preliminary hearing today was cut short, with the judge saying he could not reside over the case due to threats. The hearing was then passed to a different judge who oversaw the case. Attorneys for both sides argued about intention.
They've had cameras in the courtroom all along with this case. Every time Betty has gone to court, they have continued to get cameras in there. I am not shocked. I don't agree with it that a judge was going to grant this one for Lauren, or that a judge did grant permission for Law and Crime. But again, I don't know how people are shocked by this. Law and Crime is entertainment. They don't do anything victim focused, if you ask me.
And then do you know what happened? Somehow.
And I hate to say it, Lauren is becoming a part of what the genre she is in has been pushing for. They've been pushing for more access to courtroom proceedings, and now she is on the other side of it, and I fucking hate it. She probably had no idea that this day would ever come, but here it is.
Someone decided to let Law and Crime know about my civil stalking injunction. And Law and Crime decided that they deserved to have cameras in the courtroom.
Unfortunately, it's not the first that we've seen this happen. And her pain, I hate this, but I'm not shocked.
Well, I am explaining what my family has been going through for months.
And I hope this pushes Lauren to dig deeper and realize what happens to these victims. I know she understands a lot because of being on the ground reporting alongside the Vallow, Daybell, all of so many high profile cases. But I think this might push her a little bit further to understand the victim side of things that she might not have recognized.
The Law and Crime. I don't know. Is it a slow?
I don't know whoever thought that Law and Crime was professional, if I'm being honest. They've been entertainment all along.
True Crime Month?
They don't give a shit about the victims in their cases. They don't even care if they push off misinformation.
They thought.
They're no different than most of these big YouTube creators that get on here with breaking news. The competition to break something and be the first, it's gross. It's fucking gross.
That my family's pain should be live streamed on their trial channel.
Yeah.
I am a limited public figure. I'm just a mom who has a YouTube channel. And yes, I've become a limited public figure.
Lauren, I wish somebody would have told you that just this last year, a group of people got together and filed RICO and racketeering injunction because they didn't like their words on the internet. And then they were going to hold a press conference on their courtroom steps. And it's been nothing but games.
I'm not Johnny Depp. I'm not Amber Heard. I'm not Gwyneth Paltrow.
And we're talking channels under 20,000 subs.
I am a mother trying to protect my family and my little boy.
Law and Crime put a motion in to live stream and stalking injunction that Lauren had filed. So this is Lauren from Hidden True Crime. She has had some stuff going on with a group of ex-colleagues, somebody that used to work with her, another woman that she calls her stalker. Her real name's Christina. I'm going to address her as such because right now there's just nothing. I'm not calling her a stalker. That I'm just not. She was granted a temporary injunction for this order, but then Lauren ended up withdrawing her complaint because Law and Crime was going to stream her request for the injunction, the hearing, on their trial channel.
And I am a journalist who has never, ever in my life
I so agree with
anyone streaming of
Hey, Tim, do you agree that this is what that genre has been pushing for, though? I bet you weren't shocked by this either.
civil stalking injunction ever.
Unfortunately, victims and their families have gone through a lot worse, and you know that, Lauren.
It is not.
I hate saying this because I like her. I like her, but ma'am, you were really disconnected from the genre you are actually a part of.
Something you do. And why? Because it's someone that is being abused, that is attempting to escape something dangerous. I never wanted to do this live. But because of what Law and Crime did, I had to dismiss my civil stalking injunction because I am never, ever going to let my child's mental health be live streamed for entertainment. And I find it disgusting.
But it's okay if it happens to victims and their families? No, it's not. And this is where laws have to catch up with social media.
That anyone would want to do that to me or my family, a civil stalking injunction.
I do too.
My 8-year-old's mental health is not your entertainment. I wanted to keep this private. I wanted to keep my pain and the bullying and the abuse and the harassment and the defamation.
Now, this is a whole different ballgame with Lauren, and I read the comment, one of many, about poor BJ in her comment section trying to make a comparison. That's never going to land. Never going to fucking land. And you will never get it to fly when you use they, them, when you people know exactly who called these agencies. Now, who called her doctor's office? That's a new one. That's a fucking new rumor.
And the pain that I have been dealing with behind the scenes for months. I wanted to keep it private.
Yeah, she knows. She knows about Lauren.
Not live streamed to millions of people watching Law and Crime.
Yeah, absolutely, Crazy B6. I agree. No victims should have to go through this. That's where I think people are missing what I'm saying. you cannot be a part of a genre that has been pushing for more access to courtrooms and transparency in the court and then expect that's not going to happen to you. I don't like it for her, but that's the reality we're in. This is happening to victims and their families and random people all the time.
And so, if Law and Crime thinks that my family's pain and emotional turmoil is worthy to be on their channel, that they're going to be pool, which means
I don't think her child would have even been in the courtroom, but I think it would have been disclosed if he's having, issues or anything around mental health or seeking, they don't want that stuff put out there, which I understand.
Can share it to all media platforms.
I highly doubt he would have been in the courtroom, though, or on the stand. He's only 8, according to what she said.
This is just for everybody.
Yeah, Lauren, this is what's happening. This is what is currently happening to victims and their families. And that's why the true crime genre needs some regulation, because these independent journalists that overstep and think that it's their right to dig into these families with no evidence, there needs to be some regulations.
Then I'm going to take back my narrative, and I'm going to own my narrative, and I'm going to tell you everything tonight. We're going to go through every filing. We're going to go through a lot. So get ready. My hand has been forced.
I do disagree with this. I do not think that this is the only option she had. However, this is her choice.
I am very uncomfortable sitting here. But the reason and where I have found my bravery to do this is really, again, for my little boy.
Now, if you want to go watch this, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why I have a hard time, dupe to dupe, because this is exactly what the true crime genre has been pushing for. And then you can't want a different outcome for yourself when you're pushing for this here. I understand that transparency in court systems is needed, but victims and their families have been going through this shit for a long time because of these people that call themselves podcasters, investigative journalists, news media. They've been exploiting victims and their families for a long time. So I don't know how she thought that was going to be different. I'm not going to watch all of this because what she goes on to do, it's 9 hours. I listened to the entire thing. She goes on to tell the stories of how all of this happened. It's a person that worked for her that is involved, that is friends with the one that she calls her stalker. Now, she was granted a temporary order for this stalking injunction right before CrimeCon on one person by the name of Christina. I'm saying her name because Lauren slipped it in there numerous times, and I want it to be clear. So Lauren had a working relationship with a woman that she calls a contractor. They all met around the same time. They all became friends. They were friends for a while. They know each other in person. They see each other at trials. So a lot of this stuff has happened in public spaces. Her being recorded was in public spaces. There was an interaction at a restaurant, public space. That group was there. She was there. They had some interaction. It's people that she was once friends with and ex-colleagues that this is all happening. But these are in-person interactions, which is a huge distinction from BJ's. Now, I'm going to fast forward to some of this.
Second,
the person she calls her stalker makes TikTok videos about her ex-friend, has been detailing some of this, has an Instagram account and a TikTok, I guess. Again, I don't know.
The respondent made a public post on TikTok.
I did not see any death threats. I did not see any. There could be more, like camera footage of them driving by her house. I didn't see any of that in any of these 9 hours. I saw some messages back and forth, some videos of interactions at the courthouse here in Arizona, at the restaurant, but I have not seen anything like them going to her house, sending things to her house, death threats, anything of that nature. That's my take away at this point.
About people using LinkedIn and spoke about it as a way of verifying information.
And I will say this too. One thing that gave me the ick is her producer is allowing her to play a video. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. She allows her to play this video at the restaurant, and right before she says it, here.
And I was very uncomfortable.
Listen to what's said here. This gave me the ick.
Because of all the consistent confrontations from this group.
Yeah,
I was worried why they were sitting across.
I'm really disappointed because this is I got very performative vibes out of this. And I don't know if she is attempting to build. This is going to get worse from here. What she did in this 9 hours, I think it's going to have the Barbara Streisand effect. Again, I really think that this is going to make the situation worse for her than better.
Across the street. Were they waiting for me to get up? Were they going to film us again?
Okay, so let me back this up so you can understand this interaction. This is one of her examples. And again, I just don't. Have you ever been in a bar fight? Ran into people at the bar you don't like? Anything like, I'm sorry, but there's people in the world that you just have to maneuver around.
I would go on location everywhere. I have never experienced this. I don't know why they keep coming up to me, why they are filming me.
I get that.
Why they are harassing me. I will point this out too. Grayson asked me to make this clear when she was talking about something. She and my ex-producer, Lindsay, did used to work together. So they're
Tim, I'd like to know what she felt about Chris and Katie and the Bauer Sox. Their RO hearings being televised because of Betty's behavior. I didn't see her making a video calling that out and saying, how dare you use that for entertainment on the news?
There is a previous situation with them. It has nothing to do with me. So there's that. The true crime world is small. So, so it was all of them. Christina,
right,
said her name again. Again, I just want to point out, she makes her name very, very public. It is my choice.
See, there you go. She says her name.
To not share her name. I don't.
Angie, I like them personally. I like the content she does and her connection to the LDS and understanding of that. But I did not like this in any way, shape, or form. You can't, again, I will repeat, you cannot be a part of a genre that pushes for more transparency and then cry foul when it happens to you, when you've been pushing for it to happen to victims and their families. People are going to have to wake up to this. You're pushing. It's our right to speculate and say all these things about parents and victims and their worst times of their lives, but then they don't want it done if it's them. Again, I don't agree with it on any case. These victims should be protected, but Lauren's getting a taste of what she's a part of. And that's a sad fucking reality.
Want to share her name. If I do, I'm sorry. Please don't do anything to her, please.
But you intentionally told people where to find her. Again, you're calling her a stalker because you were granted a temporary order and then you withdrew. I don't know if that's going to be a defamation suit for them. I am assuming we're going to see some rebuttals. And I do have one video I'm going to play from one of the women that she talks about in this.
I would like to
who is an attorney, by the way.
Refer to her as my stalker at this time. If I make a mistake, please ignore it. But she does make her name very clear and well known.
They
publicly.
Do. It sucks.
So I turned on my camera for safety, and shortly after that, Lori.
This is why I stand against all of this shit. completely stand against using our court systems and all this shit. I do not agree with any of it.
And Sarah came up to my dinner table confronting me. Janice continued to film the confrontation from outside the restaurant. The waiter came over.
Did many of you know that Lauren's first trial that she actually went to and attended was her father's? Her father is an attorney. Well, was an attorney. I don't know if he still is, but he was charged with securities fraud. If you don't know her story, it's actually very interesting. If you're into like the LDS connections and crimes and stuff, I would absolutely go listen to it on Mormon Podcast Stories. It's a really good listen.
As Lori walked away while Sarah continued her confrontation. And again, yeah, the cease and desist has nothing to do with them in at all.
Agreed. Agreed.
Interestingly enough, in Lindsay's declaration to this response, she said that she believed the cease and desist was given to her because I was friends with the stalkers. It's very confusing.
That look right there was weird to me. This just does not feel authentic to Lauren at all, and that's bothering me.
That because Lindsay was friends with the stalker.
Lindsay is her ex-producer who she sent a C&D to. So this talk about the ex-producer, because she is friends with who Lauren calls her stalker, gets confused. I don't know if it's intentionally done, but she sent her ex-producer a C&D who is friends with the person she refers to as her stalker. And then this injunction was filed against Christina, not Lindsay, who is the ex-employee. It's complicated.
Stalker. It's very confusing to me. The cease and desist has nothing to do with any of them. You know, I've received cease and desist from Hidden True Crime. By the way, I want you to know that. Like, I get them and I go, okay, check. I received one a few months ago from a family of a case I've been talking about.
I believe so.
They asked me to stop talking about something in particular.
I asked that in Jay's earlier, and people were like, well, she is a stalker. And I'm like, what we've seen doesn't match that. She was granted a temporary, but then it was withdrawn. So I can't really say that right now. And again, I'm just dealing with the facts, not my personal feelings on the situation, just the facts. I don't know. I think this is going to be a snowball.
I was like, okay, I've stopped. Anyway, this is a really big deal. I kept saying, what did I do? What did I do? And they're like, you sent our friend a cease and desist. I still don't know what I've done. I just know that I can't go to trials in peace.
Okay. And supposedly all of this started because she called. Now, this is where I'm going to call bullshit too. She continues to say she doesn't know what she's done. And all of these text messages have been released. And according to Lauren, she states that she said that this Christina, her stalker, was annoying. And that's what started all of this. I'm sorry, but what? We're missing something here. Because if you call somebody annoying, like I call Hank annoying every goddamn day. I've called people way worse. What? All of this started because the term annoying? I don't know. I don't buy it. I think we're missing pieces of this. And I'm just kind of waiting to find out the other pieces. Because I think there's a lot more going on here than we're being told.
And that I'm getting
or shown. And for those of you that are in true crime, you should be having that flag go off way faster than me.
Threats about my livelihood, and that allegedly journalists and the
threats about my livelihood, not my life, my livelihood, my pocketbook, not my life.
True crime community hate me, and they know what I've done.
And who cares about the true crime community? They're competitive and cutthroat. And none of those bitches like none of them, especially if your numbers and views are better or you have better sources than they do. And Lauren has an in to a lot in the LDS community, and she's very knowledgeable. So I'm shocked that she wasn't targeted before just because of that. I hate to say it, but she has some damn good connections and a damn good understanding of the LDS crimes.
I don't know what I've done. I still don't know what I've done. Like I said, Christina's, there's her name again, but the stalker's declaration states that I've tried to hurt people's businesses. She's seen evidence of that. Doesn't
see, once again, she's using her name. So Hannah, this goes back to, she did say her name numerous times. She slid it in.
Post any evidence. I haven't. All right. So, after
another thing, you all know better than I do that people, her subs, her loyal subs, I mean, come on now. We know what they're going to do with this and what they're going to start saying and going and making comments. Ugh. She asked people not to, but we all know how that backfires.
I want to point out one other thing that's said in there. It's really important, and we'll play it again later, but I want to point out this really important thing.
I do too.
Lori states in that video.
All signs. I do too. That's the hard part for me. But again, I'll repeat it. You cannot be a part of a genre that is pushing for more access and more exploitation of victims. And then when you yourself are in this position, be upset that Law and Crime sees it as entertainment. They see everybody's bad days as entertainment. So you can't really maneuver that any different. She's no different than what she reports on. I hate to say it.
Stop acting like nothing is wrong. Stop acting like nothing is wrong. And I say that because
going to Sasha
later on in other places, including the declarations, they claim that I'm harassing them. Yet I'm sitting there saying, don't give them air, gray rock them. Don't talk about this. You've never seen me do a live. You guys had no idea this was even happening, did you? And they're even saying, stop acting like nothing's wrong. I haven't done anything. Like I just,
and I hate to say it, but I've seen so much worse happen to so many people. We've seen people show up at YouTubers' house and light things on fire. We've shown, and again, I'm not okay with it, but she does not make any claims of swatting. She does not make any claims of them going to her house. She doesn't have any proof of any of that. These are some words and lyrics of songs are her evidence of this person's harassing and stalking. Now, granted, they have in-person interaction like she's going to show, but I think we're just in a bad position here.
I think that's really telling. I haven't done anything. They're like almost angry that I haven't reacted at all, that I'm living my life, that I won't do anything. So, do we want to show how the stalker?
I do too. I was really disappointed in that.
After leaving, no, this is important. So the waiter comes over.
I'm going to be honest. This one was hard for me to like, oh God, I can't, if I'm going to be true to myself, then I have to say it like it is, because I'm sorry, but she has helped create this environment in true crime. And then when she is wanting the court to protect her as a victim, she realizes that's not what courts are doing. There's not enough protection for victims. And we go back to, is this even considered stalking and harassing? Truly, look at how much it's taken for victims, actual victims, to get protection orders. I don't know. I got a lot of questions and I don't like where we're headed, but this is going to be an iceberg.
And Lori walks away
because this little snow patch is going to come loose, I have a feeling.
Well, Sarah continues her confrontation. After they leave the restaurant, where it turns out we were all eating, unbeknownst to us, we never went inside the restaurant. We never saw that they were there. After leaving the restaurant, they walked to the restaurant across the street and sat there. What it seemed like was them waiting for us to leave the restaurant we were eating at. And I was very uncomfortable because of all the consistent confrontations from this group.
Absolutely it is. Because if this is all she had, and she reads her declarations, I'll get to some of that. But if this is all she had, I don't know if she would have gotten a permanent injunction, especially if they had an attorney representing themselves, because you go up against free speech and public spaces. And again, what she's showing is videos in public spaces outside courthouses, recorded conversations. Now, there might have been something with the releasing of messages and contracts and things of that nature. But now that she's done it on a public stage, I don't know where that's going to head either.
I was worried why they were sitting across the street. Were they waiting for me to get up? Were they going to film us again? I was very concerned about Grayson. She was very upset. Grayson is young. I'm
telling you, the true crime genre that you guys know and love is a dangerous situation for victims all around. And these people need to pay attention They want transparency and open courts for victims and their stories. But when they become the ones on the other end of it, this is what happens. And we're going to see more and more of it. I hate to say that, but it's true.
Very maternal with Grayson. We called John. We told him what happened. He goes, you know what? Why don't you just call police to escort you to your vehicle?
Okay, this I find to be overly dramatic, and I'm going to show you why. Pay attention, please.
And that's what I did. As they were leaving the restaurant, they walked across the street, and both myself, we were in fear for our safety, and eventually we called the police to help.
I won't take it that far. I will never put Lauren and BJ even in the same category at all. Lauren's a business, but the dramatics and the performance is here, which I was very disappointed by.
Escort us to our vehicle. That is why I called the police.
I hate
and then I have, it says, exhibit waiting. What? Oh, Ms. Trial says, I'm not trying to be funny, but Lauren, you need to try more profanity. Bullies choke on their own. I assume you meant receipts, not recipes. I know, right? It's so funny. Well, you guys heard me at the beginning. Yeah. So I think actually, honestly, okay, I'll stop there.
And I just have to say this. She's a beautiful woman, but her eyebrows drive me absolutely batty. Okay. There's the petty side of me. Okay, thank you. Let me get that out. She's a beautiful woman, but her eyebrows drive me fucking nuts. Okay.
Just don't explain what happened. Here's Grayson. Here am I. I had this sitting here because this is where it is. And now.
Again, she is a beautiful and she is professional, but there will always be a but in this situation. Okay. So they're at a restaurant.
So after they had dinner, they're sitting across. He felt threatened. I told him he felt threatened.
They feel threatened because the group of women that they want nothing to do with is across at another restaurant.
They're right there. We blurred them.
And now here they all are sitting across at a different restaurant getting moved.
Why could you not just get up and walk to your car? It's broad daylight.
It's Lindsay.
I think this is wasting police resources to get them to walk you to your car. Again, that's my take on it. They were not threatening bodily harm. They came up to her in a public space again.
And they're looking. And I feel like we can't leave, and now we feel threatened. And one thing they said, we've been very drama-free all afternoon. We worked the same trial. And one thing they said as they approached our table is,
they worked the same trial. They've been pretty drama-free.
Stop acting like nothing's wrong. We're just trying to be professional while we cover trials together.
Who is she recording this for is my question. And again, it seems like they had the opportunity to just get up and leave if they wanted to.
That's our waiter, and we asked him to get rid of them.
They asked the waiter to get rid of them. The other group was inside.
And we now feel like
this just seems overdone.
Can't leave. And they're all sitting in there. I'm looking side eye. I don't want to look over because they're like waiting for us. And so I'm not leaving.
I mean, so on their ass.
So
no, not that I know.
We're gonna wait for the other stuff with your declaration, right?
I don't agree with that, Jessica. I don't think it's predatory behavior. I really don't. They're all working the same trials. So to say that's predatory behavior for them to be they're covering the same trials. Again, how they ended up at the same restaurant, I don't understand. If they knew or whatever, but the one group approached, and let me be clear, the quote unquote stalker, Christina, is not in this group that approached her. She's not even a part of this group. This is her ex-producer, Lindsay, and some other people that she was at one time colleagues or friends with. If we can't call Larry an abuser because he wasn't convicted, then she can't call her a stalker. Something seems problematic about this video, in my opinion. Well, the person that she calls a stalker isn't even in this video. She wasn't even there. All that the person that she calls us the stalker did was make a TikTok reacting and responding about this and talking about this interaction. Trust me, I've been down that rabbit hole too, but pay attention if you can hear this in the background, what her producer is saying to her. When Lauren looks over, I'm going to mute. See if you can tell what she says.
Like we can't leave. And they're all sitting and I'm looking side eye. I don't want to look over because they're like waiting for us. And so I'm not leaving.
So, we're going to wait for the other stuff with your declaration, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's play it now.
The producer says you can play it now. It's pretty emotionally charged. Again, this is where it became a show for me instead of a actual, like, this is what I'm doing. It's pretty emotionally charged. And here's the video that she plays. Again, the person she's calling a stalker is not present. Sis, I understand that. But again, if we're pushing for victims to have better, then she's a part of a genre that's been shitting on victims. I'm sorry. It is what it is. When you are demanding transparency, and I think Lauren's more ethical than most. I like Lauren, but I just can't get down with this. And I think she just made this situation way worse for herself than she even realizes. And the performative stuff like that. Oh, we can play it now. It's emotionally charged. It gives me an ick. This whole thing is ick.
Let's play it now. So there's another thing we're going to save it for Grayson's declaration because she talks about this. But
and again,
this is the same moment. This is
the woman she's referring to as a stalker is not even present in this video. Keep that in mind. This is friends of the so-called stalkers.
You know how Grayson filmed me sort of during a really traumatic moment. I was just trying to collect evidence, and Grayson was really upset at this moment. Us like just seeing the writing on the wall, like we can't even go to trials anymore. Like,
and right there, trying to collect evidence, recording me. They were at another table across the street. When we are talking true crime and what actually happens, this is downplaying stalking and harassment. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Is there more to this situation? Absolutely. Is there more that we don't know? Absolutely. So I'm hoping we learn more, but right now I just am like,
like what is going on? And so I recorded this moment. If you have it and you're going to play it.
Where people get burned. Like you don't respond. Literally, where people get burned. Like you don't respond.
Where are they?
They're literally across the...
So this is her producer. This is Grayson, her current producer. And they're recording each other for evidentiary purposes. The other group of women that doesn't include the so-called stalker, because she's not even present or there, is across at another restaurant sitting down.
Everyone was waiting on us to leave this restaurant. 3 of them left, and the only ones left are Lori.
No, sis, I agree. And you can leave, of course. But I agree that there's more to this. That's what I'm saying is what she said last night is going to go, if there's more to this and people involved, which I believe that there is. Lauren has exposed a lot of bullshit within the LDS religion. And the one that she calls her stalker is still in the Mormon religion and could be tied. I'm not in any way, shape, or form. But this last night, I think is going to backfire.
Janice and Lindsay, which means the 3 of them are waiting to confront us.
So the 3 that
I'm not going to be naive to this situation because you cannot be a part of a genre that pushes for victims to be shit on over and over and people to make a killing off of, and then you yourself expect a different outcome. I believe shit's happening to Lauren. 100% believe that there's real reason for some of her fear. However, this was performative. And you even heard the producer ask her or say, yeah, you can play that now. It's emotionally charged. This has now became content instead of safety.
Have always confronted us. They're always. What, like, what's next? Do they physically assault me? Because I don't respond to them?
No, I don't agree with that. I believe Lauren's feelings are valid, but I feel like there's more to the story that she's not putting out here, and probably reasons why, but I think we're going to see a whole shitstorm come from this. And I'm more worried about her safety now after this than I would have been before.
So I'm literally at dinner, enjoying a dinner, and they're coming up to me and making me feel unsafe when I'm not doing anything. And I'm telling them to leave me alone. Like I'm not even like doing anything. It would be one thing if I was going up to them. But
okay, they approached at their table. That's it. That's all. The conversation was recorded. She played it. There's nothing really to it. They talk about a C&D.
Stay away. All they do everywhere in public is film me.
No, I know. They film you everywhere. We just do our work.
So what? Because we didn't answer the filming, now they confront us?
Unfortunately, again, it goes back to filming in public spaces. It's not illegal. And I hate that for victims.
What's next? This is when people get murdered. We're in this. We see this.
And that's overly dramatic. I'm sorry, it is what it is. But people approaching you to have unkind words or a disagreement does not mean you're going to get murdered. Just because you do true crime does not. See, this is where...
By the way, Grayson originally said, please, please, please do not ever show those videos. But because I showed the one at the beginning of this live, she decided to take one for the team and let me show that.
Yep, I know.
So thank you, Grayson.
Oh, I believe that. I know for a fact he's been working his way, 3D's Crimes by State. He's been working his way back into political conversations, Ballard has been. And that's why I believe that there's more to this. Lauren has been a part of her and John DeLynn. John DeLynn has been, there's just a lot to this. If you knew Lauren's connections and all of the connecting pieces, I believe there is valid fear. But I believe that this is displaced. I really do. And I think this is going to open up a can of worms. And I hate that.
So one other question. Well, we'll get to it. Later, the stalker does a TikTok.
Thank you, B. Tim, for the super chat. Lauren has not learned her lesson. How she is oversharing with this producer and not dividing the line between professional and personal, even now shows me that much. She will continue to do this. B. Tim, that's one thing too. I worry about what's going to happen in this situation. This girl is very young, and Lauren repeats that over and over again. And it's affecting her so greatly already. When you blur the line of work relation. Yeah, you're right. Again, thank you. I just think this is going to catapult into a huge, way bigger issue.
Tying herself to this event despite not being here in Boise. We'll get to that in a little bit. After hearing about everything, Susu, I called dispatch 911. I called dispatch. I used to be a reporter in Boise too, by the way.
Are you talking about the guy from Nevada? American Crime, isn't it American Crime Journal or something? I can't remember his name, but him and Packer, Lynn and him did great exposing.
I know how it works. And then, I just said, hey, it's just weird. I'm just nervous. We were just looking for an escort to our vehicle. And
okay, again, these were a bunch of women that were one-time friends. And within the LDS spaces covering LDS crimes, there is a lot of competition and a lot of cutthroat shit within the LDS spaces. And that's people continue to say that the religion, it does too. It does play a role in all of this, especially with the crimes that she has covered. There are a lot of people that are jealous of those sources or information or somebody in their family being tied to somebody. There is a lot of competition and a lot of jealousy in these spaces. Again, they were covering similar trials, so it's not like they just went there solely. I don't know how they ended up at the same restaurant. That's not clarified.
As we walked, and I have the whole thing recorded with Officer Jacobs, because I actually say that respectfully. I say, hey, I know you have body cam footage. Can I also record from my end? And he says, absolutely. So I have the whole entire encounter with Officer Jacobs. That, don't worry, we won't play it here. We have so much to go over. But after hearing about everything, Officer Jacob calls the on-call prosecutor.
Why not play the police recording? I mean, that would have seemed more. And here is the alleged stalker's TikTok, again, who wasn't at this dinner. This is what she said. This is her TikTok.
Completely. They work in the same space, so overlap happens. But the rule friend A made was simple. If she talks to me, I will not speak to her back. One night, my friend, including friend A and others, are at a restaurant. They've been there for 2 hours. As they're about to wrap up their dinner and leave, ex-friend walks in and sits by the door with her assistant. It's a choose your own seating restaurant, and she chose to sit by the exit. A friend of mine, let's call her friend B, walks out of the bathroom and sees ex-friend and says to her, do not talk to friend A. You sent her a cease and desist, full of lies, by the way, and she does not want to talk to you. Friend B then walks away. Of course, ex-friend is like, oh, she can fight her own battles. Well, duh, she can fight her own battles, but you sent her freaking cease and desist full of untrue claims. So
she sent a cease and desist to her ex-producer.
So you're making others fight her battle. Okay? Okay. Hours later, my ex-friend goes to the police claiming my friends were stalking her.
Now, this girl in the video is who she actually took the stalking injunction out on and is referring to as her stalker. Again, she was not in the interaction at this restaurant.
Even though my friends had been at that restaurant first. For multiple hours had been at that restaurant first. It's like calling 911 on someone for being in the same room you just walked into. That's how
my Atlanta, it's so bad.
Unhinged this ex-friend is.
So
I don't know enough about her yet, Cinnamon, to really, Cinnamon, I don't know enough fully about her. She gives me a bad vibe, I'll be honest. She gives me the typical Utah, the bad Utah vibe. She has that all over her. So take that for what it's worth.
In other words, the stalker ties herself to a group.
Unfortunately, I think we're going to learn a lot about her in the upcoming weeks, though.
Bullying campaign. Whether or not she was in town, she is letting me know that the reason they are doing this is because I sent their friend who was employed by me. I paid a lot of money to, a cease and desist for something that has nothing to do with that.
Again, the mention of money seems displaced to me and odd. She was an employee, so of course you should have paid her. So mentioning that, that's not who your stalker is. That's one of her friends, is your ex-employee. Again, it's a small circle. They all knew each other. They were colleagues. They worked together. They became friends. Even mentioning how much money she paid her seems displaced and irrelevant in this situation because she's not the one she even tried to get the injunction on.
And that they're now going.
And this is why I can't handle the performative side of this. I don't know who encouraged her to do it this way. If this was the attorney's decision, who decided to advise her to do this way. But oh my God, from somebody that deals with people like we deal with. Oh Lord, Lauren. Oh, why?
To, I guess, harass me and that I deserve it. I don't know. We called the police for an escort to our vehicle, and rightfully so.
And that's
and
fine.
Again, the fact that they said stop acting like.
I can understand the uncomfortableness because of the people around at these trials and the bullshit that they've gone through. Okay, so I can give her that. No big deal. Police escorted her. Okay, carry on. But to even put this in the timeline of how this happened with the stalker, her alleged stalker, when the alleged stalker wasn't even present for that, again, muddies the water. She's telling this story. It says, I can't stay silent anymore. I am being stalked and bullied and fear for my safety.
Nothing's wrong. I don't. And thank you to the person who said, stop saying, I don't know what I did. Start saying, I did nothing. I have not done anything. Thank you for correcting me on that. When stalking
that could be
happens, you start to doubt yourself. Trust me.
It also could be because she knew that Law and Crime had tried to get this pool, the feed, for their entertainment purposes, and that sooner or later somebody was going to start releasing stuff about it, and this could be the way of taking her power back too in that situation. I don't question that she's in fear. I just think that some of this is displaced.
I sat in tears going, what have I done? And like, whoa, am I missing something? Nobody has ever been able to clarify. I think I said, what did I do to them? Like, I haven't done anything because I have not done anything.
And I think this also would have been better with Dr. John beside her instead of the producer. But then again, I
have not.
I know he doesn't really care to be on camera that much.
Done anything.
AKA everyone.
On July 29th.
I got that all fucked up. AKA Mr. A. I hope you're doing good. Welcome in.
2025. This is going to be, by the way, a hot mic 18. On July 29th, 2025, my stalker also posted another video of my voice, and this is interesting actually. I was caught on a hot mic in Law and Crime. What was it after? It was after Lori Daybell's sentencing. I said nothing wrong. In fact, I didn't even think there was a hot mic. I leave it to me, not even thinking of hot mics. What I said was okay. In fact, I remember
her alleged stalker, again, referencing my alleged stalker, feels odd.
Thinking after, I'm like,
because she made a video after you got caught on hot mic. I mean, it's not. Hey.
Oh well, I'm good. I'm safe. Grayson is the one that you hear in the background going hot mic, and until the moment she said hot mic, it didn't even occur to me. I was like, oh, okay.
Now again, this group of people I want to mention again, and I cannot link it all publicly for you right now, but if I can get down that rabbit hole, if I choose to, some of these people in this group have connections to other people that are problematic in this LDS space, especially around the crimes of the LDS, such as like the Visions of Glory people and things like that. There are connections there within some of the people in the group that Lauren has had problems with. I'm positive of. I just got to make sure I can detail who it is and their involvement. But for right now, like, again, this is very performative, and it is what it is.
This is her TikTok. We'll watch the unedited version.
Yeah, it's not at all.
The authentic version after. But here is on August 6th, my stalker publishing a video with photos.
She confirmed in this that the person she is calling her stalker is still current LDS, which, again, there's a whole other world of that.
Oh, no. Take that back. On July 20th, this is my stalker posting another video of my voice, which is this hot mic.
Welcome to the internet. Nobody likes anybody.
Unedited.
I noticed she likes you. She came over.
And she even came to me after, and she said, thank you for being so kind.
Yeah,
and I she was very open to me asking anything because she knew I was kind to her.
So this is, again, a TikTok from the alleged stalker who is just playing a hot mic moment of Lauren's.
Yeah, in a second, let me just share what this is. So that was confusing. That was, my stalker makes sure she's the face of every post. So you didn't see the video of the hot mic moment. That was my stalker that we blurred. She puts the quotes of what's going on, redacts it. It's very confusing. She calls it weaponized kindness. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy Jo. Thank you. So she calls this weaponized kindness. And that was it. That's what she did edit it. We're gonna watch the original.
That's Nancy Jo Hancock, who went on a date with Charles Vallow before he was murdered, for anybody that doesn't recognize who that comment she pinned was.
Original hot mic on Law and Crime. It was after the Lori Daybell sentencing, the last one. And to be very clear, I'll just set the stage.
I'm not really sure, Shady. There's something going on here, and I feel like there's something going on here that we don't know, and she's trying to avoid, which I get. But I think this right here was the worst decision ever, because I think this is going to backfire and plummet. I really think this is going to do the opposite of what she was wanting to have happen.
One who was a trial goer, a kind girl.
And this is where I fucking struggle, because I really like Lauren's reporting. But again, I will continue to say, you cannot be a part of a genre and continue to make a living profiting off of pain of victims and their families at their worst moments and throw all caution to the wind. And she's ethical for the most part. She is ethical. She does get some things. I mean, everybody does. She gets some things wrong. She pushes some misinformation, but she is way more above board than a lot. However, you cannot be a part of wanting courts open and pushing for them to allow all of you in there for fodder for your YouTube channels and then not expect it to be happening to you. You just can't. That's a double-ended sword.
Who I quite like. I won't say her name. She's really sweet in trial. She was sweet to everyone. And I noticed that she was actually across the room talking to Summer Shiflett, who is Lori Vallow Daybell's sister. I actually thought it was really sweet that they were talking. I noticed that from the back row where the media sat.
Well, that's interesting that she gained 5,000 subs, because when she gets to the end of this, I'll play a few more parts and then we'll get through it. I'm not going to be here long. I might cover this down the road, but I just wanted to give you my hot takes on this. It's going to be a hot take, but stop fucking going in her comment section, BJ Subs. You look pathetic as fuck trying to compare this situation of real life people. Like, these are people that Lauren knows in real life. They've had real life interaction. These are real life face-to-face interactions with some of this. Nowhere even comparable to BJ. Lauren is a business. Hidden True Crime is a business. BJ doesn't even have the fucking footing of a business, let alone a successful business or successful colleagues. Stop.
Good view of everyone in the back row.
And the mommy ramblings comparisons too. Jesus.
And I also know, full disclosure, that Summer does not care for me. And I actually really respect that and understand.
Okay. Yeah. We don't need to hear all of that. Here is the letter confirming Dr. John. This is when the police in Colorado, she got this injunction before CrimeCon, and the gal was notified of it, but then she still went to CrimeCon, so police approached her to give her that. I'll play this.
For you here. I am ready. And thank you, Crusher.
I always knew it was going to be one day when it was somebody I liked on this end of things.
Yeah.
I don't know her on a personal level, but in this space, I had hope.
Give us a
but then this
second. By the way, we knew this live was going to be long. I think it's going to be longer than we thought it was going to be. And Grayson, you're rocking it. How's your back doing? If you need to take a break and you need me to put on, and we're here for the long haul. Okay.
Do you mind if I CRD request?
So glad I feel like I got today. Yeah. There's text threads and stuff. Yeah. Oh, my Lanta. It's a lot deeper. It's a lot fucking deeper than surface level. And again, I think there's a lot more to this than we even know after this 9 hours. Well, there has to be, because none of this makes sense.
Will I get out my snackies?
So this is Christina sitting here again.
Okay, hold on.
And this is all happening at CrimeCon.
1 sec. Gotta unload.
Yeah, I can see why, Donna. I can absolutely see why she would trust her.
We're gonna start this over because there's one where
again, I like Lauren and John from what I know of them on the internet, but I don't know them that way. And I'm still gonna say you cannot be a part of a genre that pushes for shit to be released or go on these fucking channels. Has Lauren not done segments with Law and Crime or been like on them? I don't know for sure who owns Ashley Banfield. Is Ashley Banfield a part of Law and Crime? I know she's been on with Ashley Banfield. So these syndicate stations, whatever you want to call them, are in it for entertainment. Of course, they're not going to see her any different. They do this shit to victims all the time. Like, I can't make an excuse for her and watch it happen to victims. Like, it's too far.
they approach her.
It's so far.
We're gonna look for it, and yeah, we'll do it after this one. So really quickly, this isn't in order. We have a video from
I just can't remember who Ashley actually works for right off the top of my head.
when they approach her.
I
And
believe
we
that.
don't have the video right now, so we're gonna watch this, and then we'll just go back to that one.
I believe that. I 100% believe that it's likely a smear campaign, but I believe because of the missing information, she just gave them the hand up. I do. I believe that she's going to have words. Smooth motion. Thank you. I don't care for either one of them, if I'm being honest, because their entertainment is people's worst moments. And look at Nancy Grace. Look. Yeah, you guys are right.
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
Annie Elise has that podcast or whatever with Law and Crime, and Dana Abrams, I think, is, or if she still does.
All right, ma'am, do you know what's going on here right now?
I mean, I can make a lot of assumptions, but I'm assuming yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you mind if I get a good phone number for your phone?
Yeah, area code. I called you guys yesterday too.
Did you? Okay.
615. Yes. This is yes. I called you guys yesterday. I had a feeling this was like she was gonna pull this.
Okay. So we just don't want to blindside you, right? We just want to make sure everybody's on the same page, okay?
No, I mean, like, to what like I obviously only know like what has happened like at my house.
Okay.
Like with that, but like I don't.
In the year before, they had attended CrimeCon at the same time as friends, I think, or been somewhere together as friends, a group of them.
Like in Utah, or?
Yeah, I live in Utah.
Okay. Sorry, can I finish getting in front of
sorry.
3Ds.
Yes. I have yeah, I mean, ask me questions. I don't know. You just tell me where to go.
No, I mean, so
I hate that too and agree with you. She's unfortunately seen what she's a part of, Jade. She's unfortunately on the other end of it, and I freaking hate it. But this right here, I think, was the worst decision ever. This 9 hours, I think, is going to be worse for the situation, unless this was intentional to build a case. Now, if this was intentionally to bait them, to amp up, that could have been, so she can go legal. That could be. I don't know. I'm just waiting. I'm just going to watch and wait like the rest of you.
Long story short, you're being served with a protective order.
Okay.
So you're not allowed to come within 500 feet of the respondent. You're not allowed to go to the convention. You can stay at the hotel, but you cannot go to the convention or 500 feet.
Question. I had these tickets booked since last June.
If you violate it, the judge's order, we will arrest you and you have to go to jail. We don't have a choice about that.
No, that's fine. I'm just asking questions. I know you're doing your job. 100%. I'm not crying because, it's just a lot. I play a freak. Okay, so I understand you're doing your job. Can I ask questions?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I know some of you are in favor of CrimeCon, but I think it's kind of disgusting that there's a convention. Yes, some 501c3s are brought attention to, and there are some new technology and some good is done out of it. But I think it's kind of gross that there's a convention that people go salivate over the worst true crime cases of the year. I think it's kind of gross that families and victims are becoming new age celebrities of sort, and it's because of the fodder that people have been salivating over of their worst moments of something horrific happening to their families. It's weird to me. That whole thing is weird. No shame. Some of my friends in here have attended them, and I would go for like a purposes of awareness to kind of see what it's like. I would go myself, but I think it's disgusting that it's became a convention, like an anime convention almost.
About it.
Here's a copy of it for you.
I already have. I have a picture my husband sent me yesterday.
We'll leave you with a physical copy.
Yeah, just because we have to give, the physical copy to you. That way you have for your records. Okay. Give one to us.
Ala Lauren, do you think it has to do with connections to Visions of Glory or people around that bullshit? Because if you do, that's where I am headed, but I don't have enough information to link it yet. I'm waiting. But I have a feeling that some of these people are connected to some of those people.
Can I fight this here?
No.
This is going to be a Utah-based.
Yeah, so my question is, I've had these tickets since last June. She knew that. She never did. I ended my friendship with her in April. It's the last time I ever spoke to her initially. She's messaged me. I've placed reports of her harassing me. I'm going to literally be fighting this. That's not the issue. Is I've had these since last June when I ended my friendship. She didn't have tickets here at all. She knew I was coming here. With that said, why am I getting punished when I've had these tickets? I'm sure they can look it up for much,
I mean, really, does this not sound entitled? I've had these tickets. Why does she get to be here and I don't? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, come the fuck on. Seriously now? This is where I'm just like, ugh.
I'm sure they can look it up, but this is.
And her husband had contacted her. She knew about this. She still made the decision to go.
I don't know if that's something you can take up with them as far as maybe a reimbursement or however you guys.
I agree.
Yeah. But that's going to be civil on that side, right? So we're just
very
different. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just asking do you what can I do?
Lauren, that's where I think a lot of this is stemming from too. And that's why I think this 9 hours is going to backfire. Because I think it's going to give them an upper hand, and it worries me. You're
with my friends. Sorry.
Like I said, they're not kicking you out of the hotel, but you can't come to the CrimeCon, right? So you can stay at the hotel.
I know, but
just as long as you stay away from.
I have my friends are about to go on stage and present, and I can't see that either.
Oh, I agree. They're fucking crazy expensive.
So that's
no, I know. Wait,
situation that we're in.
I know. It's.
And this looks like, after reading it, it's a no contact order.
Oh, I've never contacted her.
So, but there's other people listed in it that you are not allowed to contact.
I never saw other people.
It's in the second page.
To anybody that she never.
No.
Okay.
But
Lauren was not presenting. She was not speaking. She did not have a booth. She was just a spectator too. They were both spectators and both just attendees at this conference. She actually clarifies that too. Lauren was not hosting or there on behalf of, of course it's her job and she wanted to be there for certain aspects, but they had the same tickets from my understanding. My
point is, I've done nothing wrong. I I have like her history of her pulling this stuff before with other police reports.
So when you go to court for this, because you're gonna have a court date.
No, it sucks. This is
I understand, and I understand the frustration with it, but what the judge signs off on.
How did they get his signature on something that's not even?
My partner and I can't deviate off this.
Jade, I agree with that too. But again, recording her in public spaces, which we always have an issue with because they do it to victims and their families who have missing children, that there's no evidence. This is what this genre does to victims and their families. So as much as I feel bad for them, I also have to be realistic here. This is what that genre has done to victims and their families. And now Lauren is unfortunately experiencing it. It seems very double-sided, but this is the reality. This is where it's headed, and it's going to only get worse if people don't start waking the fuck up. This true crime genre, whatever they call, is exploiting victims and their families at their worst moments and making a career out of doing it, pushing our courts to allow more access, more invasion in people's privacy, not protecting victims and their families. And now Lauren's experiencing it, and I hate that for her.
So if anything's violated in this, from what the judge says, we have a legal obligation. We have to enforce it.
Do, and I'm not asking you not to.
So we'd hate for something like this to happen where you get arrested over this.
This was approved?
I would hire an attorney and have your attorney go through it when we go to
No,
court.
but like, how is this even approved? Because these, like, I have done literally.
It's an application process. It's an application that's done through the judge.
I know, but like, I want to, like, how do I find?
So the fact that they had contacted the Colorado cops, because as you guys know, this was filed in Utah. Again, another thing about this is just a note on the situation is Lauren has family members who are attorneys. So there's another.
I might be at CredCon, but I'm a rookie, so like obviously she had to say something to be able to get this signed.
It's an application process that has to go through. You go to court, you apply for it. If the judge deems that it's necessary, the judge will grant it.
Okay.
So whatever she put in the application and whatever evidence she presented, the judge obviously agreed with it and issued it.
Okay.
So you do have a court date for it. It doesn't show it on here. I would reach out to the county and find out when the court date is. And then you can go to court and you can explain everything. And
I know this is why I came. I came to your office in Aurora yesterday to avoid all this because
we
literally like.
Yeah, there's some good that comes out of it, but it's became like a spectator sport too. And it's weird. There's facets of it that are really weird. There is good that is done, but it's also like, I don't know, it's odd to me. But I don't salivate over crimes either, so I find that to be weird, where a lot of people do.
The police.
This is like me having plans to go somewhere and someone else following me here and then telling me I'm the stalker.
Well, I'm sorry that this happened,
Like,
but unfortunately there's nothing we can do.
I know.
And so this is, if you reach out to Utah, this looks like the case number that all the information regarding this protection order is going to be under okay. I'm going to give you a business card. This is a case number that we're going to write our report under. We're just going to say that it's radio, okay? That's why I had to get your ID. Just
I understand. I got
you.
I respect what you do. Thank you. I'm not mad at you at all. I just have questions and like thank you for answering what you could. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It sucks, but
fortunately, the Utah has great laws, anti-slap laws. We're like, we're on medication. We're not anti-slapping on this one.
She mentions the anti-slap laws. So again, she kind of knows where she's headed with this. Like this had been ongoing, obviously, for a little while.
But okay. So tell me what I don't obviously want to go to jail.
Right.
So I can be in my hotel room.
Yeah.
And can I hang out like in the bar with my friends at night?
if as long as it's not the CrimeCon convention and you're not within 500 feet of her or the other named parties that are on this.
Like, let me see, because I didn't see like when the one they said.
It shows these are all the people you're not allowed to come in contact with.
So just a general like blanket statement. She could say anyone is a business.
Like I said, we don't have access to what happened in the Utah courts.
Yeah. I wonder how I go about that.
I would hire legal counsel and
thank you.
go that route. They can
These cops are really nice.
Get all the stuff that they need and go from there.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate it. Sorry guys that you have to come down here to do this today.
No problem. I'd rather have you
I tried to
No, Lauren's not involved with Visions of Glory. She has talked about a lot about the bad actors around the LDS religion and how it interconnects with the crimes and the Daybell and the Valo. There's a lot with the Visions of Glory book in itself, but she's exposed and talked about a lot of the crimes within the LDS religion and how they all connect and the offshoot groups of that faith and a lot of their misdeeds. And they don't like that. They don't like pushback. They don't like people talking truth about them.
Like, you know, save you some time yesterday because
We'd rather explain it to you, that way you know what you can and can't do instead of accidentally violating it.
yes,
And then, like I said, even if it's accidentally violated, we still have to arrest you.
no,
And
totally. By all means, I'm open. I like.
Be here on vacation.
I have a hard time with that part of it too, Pika. That would have given you safety at least. And then you would have had that protection. Now you just did this for content purposes. I don't understand that either. I don't know. I don't know.
No.
What you can, right? So.
Yes. No, I respect what you do. That would be. I don't want to make you guys do that at all.
And that's the last thing we want to do.
Yeah. Any questions for me that I could? Okay.
I would just read through it, know what you can and can't do, and just use those as guidelines and don't violate it. Because it's no contact, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit.
It just pisses me off because think about how hard of a time victims and their families have getting ROs on people going to their neighborhoods and stalking and harassing them.
It's all listed in there.
I know. I've never, like, literally not one time ever since ending my friendship with her have I contacted her at all, other than a response to a message she sent me.
It's like she reaches out to you by any.
I think everybody that has mixed emotions, it's valid. I think it's valid to have the mixed emotions over this because it's kind of like you can't push for this and then cry victim when it happens to you. I don't know. I don't know where she's going to go with this or what's going to happen, and I hope for the best. But I expect the worst.
Try to form some type of documentation where, like, hey, I'm not allowed to contact you. Don't contact.
No, I'm not even going to talk to her back.
Don't even reply.
I don't even. No.
What I would do is if you start getting messages from her texting you, stuff like that, report it.
Yeah.
Get a report number, document it so that so whatever messages are sent or phone calls can be uploaded into digital evidence. That way there's a record of it that she reached out to you, you're not reaching out to her or any of the other people that are in there.
Oh.
Because it's no contact on your end.
No, I'm.
So even if you replied.
Why does that not surprise me?
Don't even, nothing. I'm not even, no.
Yeah, because even if you reply to her saying, you know, I gave you a temporary protection order, and you say, yeah, I know, you just violated it because you responded to her.
That's so true. Okay. That's so.
So you don't want to.
I'm not planning on that.
I'm just telling you so you know. So that
I'm
way.
so glad you do. Keep telling me all the things I need to know. I don't want to accidentally. Golly, heck no.
It's just the crime con from the 5th through the 7th.
How come?
And 500 feet within her, and the internet stuff and phone calls is what I saw in there.
All right.
But I'd read over it. I just to make sure that you're good with it.
Yes. I'm ready. She's the one harassing me and gets to pull this. Oh, yeah, I have I've kept like a binder of all of her, even the like.
Lady, pack up your shit and get off the goddamn table. For criminy sakes, move along.
Utah law around that, just because
They're cops. They're just there to do their job. Come on, people.
A little worried. Like my husband said that someone came to the house yesterday, and I was like, well, like looked up Utah law to make sure like I wasn't breaking any laws by being here, and that's why. Anyway, I went to Utah law, and it said it had to be served directly to me. So that's why, and I called an attorney this morning, and she was like, just live your life. Like, essentially, I'm just here.
And I'm not a fan of this person either. Let me be very clear. I am no way, shape, or form defending this person whatsoever. I am defending the fact that victims get shit on over and over again, and people, unfortunately, like Hidden True Crime and other true crime podcasters, feel it's their right to exploit pain and suffering. And you can say she's ethical. I agree. She is more ethical than most. However, it doesn't matter. This is where we are. This is the reality of what they've been pushing for. more access to court, more access to the victim's pain. I don't want it for her, but we watched them stream bits and pieces. Well, report, they didn't stream it live on Betty's RO. That was fucking crazy.
Being with my friends. It's just unfortunate.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
It's okay. Do you have any other questions?
No. Okay. No. I think you answered them.
Okay.
Do you guys?
It's likely that those reservations were probably made before this fallout got that intense. People usually try to stay close by the venue, from my understanding, and it's likely those were like a group rate by the hotel right there at the convention center or something was booked way in advance. So before this escalated to this point, her husband accepted the papers when she wasn't home and called her and told her about them, but she was already there at the convention or at the hotel by the time they had gone and served them to her husband.
Have like a phone number I can call if I do think of any, like.
So,
yeah.
My contact information is on there as well as my email address.
Okay. Just because I don't know, right now I'm clearly for some reason emotional.
We're working here
to. What about makeup?
Well, we're sorry we did that.
No, not you guys. My freaking body around that, crying. Yeah. No, there was one moment yesterday where I saw her immediately went to security and got behind her. Not behind her, behind the security guy, just to say,
shut up. Get off the fucking table and shut up. Okay. So that's the actual person. But then there's stuff like this that she shows that just don't land for me. I'm sorry. It doesn't. Threatening her livelihood. Okay, I understand that's your income, but where's the death threats or things like that? I'm shocked that she might have them and just didn't put them in here, but she didn't mention any like death threats either, which the people that Lauren's exposed or like brought attention to, I'm shocked by that.
Emoji, please do it. It will be criminal for that ex and discuss details.
She's reading stuff now.
But why is she so obsessed with my LinkedIn? She trying to call people?
Sorry, I am just bouncing around because I'm not about to sit through 9 more hours of this. And there's just some key parts I want to bring to attention. And then I'm going to play another video from one of the ladies that she has mentioned in this video, who's an attorney.
She trying
to kind of give you a roundabout full understanding of the fuckery. And again, I think this is going to get worse. I hate to say that, but that's my prediction.
And to get more people that know me to verify, people that connect. She's trying to figure out who to call next. Has she gotten everyone yet?
And if you can't tell, I really fucking hate this position. I really hate this because I really like her coverage on certain things. Not all of it. Hey, Shaw.
I agree. I saw randomly something in the comments. And I agree with, nobody needs to go unsubscribe from anyone because of this live. That's not what this is about. I do not believe in cancel culture. I do not believe in public shaming. I do not believe in punishment. I am here to protect myself and nothing else. To make things go away, or for all of you guys to know what I am going through. Given the respondent's history of publicly sharing that she called UNLV, where my husband supervises students, and the fact that she called a national news correspondent to discuss details about me, as well as a victim.
Okay, I want to back that up just a minute, and I want to talk about that. Sorry, Hank was acting up. So, he still is. Hold on.
Why is she?
I want to play this portion again and comment.
So obsessed with my LinkedIn. She trying to call people. She trying to get more people that know me to verify, people that connect. She's trying to figure out who to call next. Has she gotten everyone yet?
Lauren does make the claim that this person has been reaching out to colleagues of hers and or people that she has had associations with or passed with, that she is making personal contacts to friends, colleagues, things of that nature. So that escalates things quite a bit. Now we've heard BJ claim similar things and not show proof. Again, I've never reached out to anybody in regards to her. When you cover people's public commentary, you keep it to that. But Lauren is claiming that this alleged stalker has made contact with people in Lauren's real life.
I agree. I saw randomly something
and they have attempted, and she has TikToks of her claiming that she has reached out to people to look into Dr. John's background, which I find to be very disgusting and very much a part of the jealousy portion of this.
The comments, and I agree with, nobody needs to go unsubscribe from anyone because of this live. That's not what this is about. I do not believe in cancel culture. I do not believe.
I think many of you are on the same wavelength as I am about there's other things that are going on here, very likely. But right now, where this is left, it's going to escalate things. And I think many people are going to doubt Lauren over this. And I think this is going to have a backfire effect instead of the opposite.
In public shaming. I do not believe in punishment. I am here to.
You do not believe in public shaming, but you did a 9-hour live. You pulled your complaint through the courts because you didn't want Law and Crime to stream it. Now you're streaming all of it. This is where it turned into content over safety. And you want to shut this down, and you do not believe in public shaming. However, you are calling her your stalker. And all we have, based on just the little information that you shared in a temporary order of protection, isn't sufficient, I don't believe. And I believe that that could have opened up for defamation, and we'll see. I don't know where this is going to head. I don't like it.
Protect myself and nothing else. To make things go away, or for all of you guys to know what I am going through.
And I think this is absolutely going to have the opposite effect of making it go away. Unfortunately, again, I'm going to repeat it for the 500th time. When you are a part of a genre pushing for more access to victims' worst moments and what victims are going through and profiting off of victims' pain, their suffering, their family suffering, you cannot cry foul when you are in the same spot that many of them have been because of people in your genre and the push for unlimited access for fodder. That's what people want this for. They want people's worst tragedies so they can salivate over it. Lauren is ethical. I will repeat that too. I like her coverage on things. I don't always agree with what she believes, innocent versus guilty, but I like her coverage of things. However, this is a great example of multiple things can exist at once. I think she fucked up by doing this. I think this is what the drama side of things, and I think it's very clear it became more content driven than it did about safety. Because if this was about safety, she would have said, you know what? Let Law and Crime fucking stream it. I'm getting my RO because I'm in fear for my safety. Instead, she came on here where she has no protections and turned it into just content. I got a lot of questions.
The respondent's history of publicly sharing that she called UNLV, where my husband supervises students, and the fact that she called a national news correspondent to discuss details about me, as well as a victim. Well, one can reasonably assume she was and has been actively looking for other contacts of ours to call and discuss details about myself and my husband with. This is extremely unsettling. These actions show that the respondent is willing to insert herself into both mine and my husband's professional and personal lives in ways that are intrusive, unwanted, threatening. And
I do also believe Lauren's political views have something at play here too. Hate to say it, but I'm going to because it's the reality. Lauren is liberal and she grew up in the LDS church, and that is not very highly recognized or respected. Let's put that where it's at. Lauren fights for LGBTQ rights. She is I connect with her on a personal level about a lot of things. This is why I feel it's frustrating because I worry about her safety at this point. after this video.
Deeply unsettling. Given this history and the fact that her actions have continued to escalate for nearly 6 months, it is also
Elizabeth, I watched the entire 9 hours because I wanted to make sure I was understanding everything I was listening to. And I walked away frustrated.
reasonable to fear that she will continue seeking out other professional and personal contacts in order to involve them in her campaign of harassment.
So she is reading her declaration to the courts of how she got the temporary. Then she goes in to read the responses, the attorney's responses. But I want to show you, I'm going to fast forward it because we only got 35 minutes left until I'm going to boot you over to Duchess's. This contact right here was between her producer and another content creator. I don't know who this is. They don't say who it is. But Lauren says that this is part of why she was so scared.
So we're going to pull that up. But essentially, the police officer comes in and says, so I talked to the ex-contractor, and they're saying that they brought up the stalker's name. So they mentioned this.
See, when she does her brows, like when her brows are like this, when she's more relaxed, they don't look as bad. But when she does that certain thing and they go up, I'm like, oh, stop, keep them down.
A stalker, not us. We were like,
Lauren's beautiful, but her brows drive me nuts.
Oh, really? Huh.
Sorry, just my petty side.
So here we go. This is from my recording that was taken with permission from officer who knew that I was recording while he was investigating my report.
People don't want to acknowledge that either, but there has been this whole gunning for people's jobs and the competition within the true crime space. She is one of few in the true crime genre. She really is outnumbered. She really is. I would love somebody to break down the statistics of that. It is a thing. And again, the people that are on her ass are not all of them that I can confirm, but some of them are very active LDS members and very Betty views. Let's put it that way. Not all of them, but some of them. Yes, I can confirm that.
Lauren, I say, what are they saying? Officer, the anonymous Proton email came up.
I do too.
Saying that, yeah, there is information, but yeah, I've talked to creator.
That's why I can't understand. I'm struggling understanding why she pulled this. She obviously had enough evidence to get the temporary. Why pull it? Even if Law and Crime was going to do whatever they were going to do, let them get your order of protection, unless there's something else here that we don't know, which is very valid too. There could be that she didn't believe she would be granted it and didn't want to be made a mockery of. I don't know. But I feel like her releasing all of this in a way was her trying to take her power back, but I think it did the opposite.
An ex-contractor. Lauren, okay, and what did the ex-contractor say? Well, she said,
and this is a conversation between her and her producer and a content creator. And again, there's no threats in here.
Says that she got messages from the past and stuff, and denying different, denying that she's part of this kind of thing. But she did mention that my stalker. She mentioned that person. Lauren, that's she's.
Oh, that's not, never mind. That's not that conversation. I'm wrong on which conversation that was. Hold on. There's another one that looks exactly the same. It's black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Maybe it's at the beginning. It looks the exact same. Oh, it's right here. Hold on. Okay, here you go. This is the one. This is the creator to Grayson. The only thing I can tell you is that there are many people right now that are pissed off, that are calling for her head on a platter. It's pretty much the message I can get. That's pretty much all I know. It's just been a lot of mean things, just in a first time text or a text from someone I don't talk to regularly. And it's like, oh my God. I just think from the messages I've seen, I would prepare for something publicly at this point, at some point. I don't know how or when. I just tell people I don't want to know what's happening. So that way I can say I truly have no clue. There are a lot of people that are really, really, really pissed off right now. And that's all I know. People are mad. I would brace yourself based on a few things that I have heard here and there. Something's in the works. A couple messages I got were, keep an eye on your notifications because we're going to blow this shit up. I don't want to say it's over. It's kind of getting ramped up. And that's reading the text messages I've gotten. Brace yourself. Something's going to go big. Something's going to go viral. I'm not touching this. I'm not getting my hands dirty. So this is some creator to Lauren's producer. And Lauren made a police report after that because she felt threatened. So now let's get to the end. You can go back and watch this and hear all the depositions and stuff. The basic gist of this is she got a temporary order granted, then found out Law and Order had petitioned to have camera access to the hearing. It was granted by the judge. She found out about it. She withdrew her complaint and then came on for 9 hours to talk about this. People in the comment section are trying to compare this to what BJ's going through, saying BJ's even gone through worse. That's a fucking crock of shit. These are people that Lauren actually has had face-to-face interaction with, that are in her area, that she knows, that she has had a relationship with. There's actual contact, unlike BJ. And BJ knows who's called places on her, and she's handled it poorly from jump. So please stop comparing them. Lauren is a business. Hidden True Crime is a business. Dr. John is a doctor. Lauren is a journalist. Professional business. BJ is a piece of shit. Okay, let's stop.
So this,
but BJ subs tried amping her up last night, and they're all over in the comments over on Lauren's video. Oh my God, it's worse with what's happening to BJ. Shut the fuck up.
It was not a fake police report. It was real, and we've caught it.
Fuck yeah. If she's covering this, let me just say, if she, which I expect her to cover this and try to like, oh, I'm the victim. Yeah. Sorry. Nope. Oh, thank you.
So I supposedly file false police reports. The other...
Sorry, I was rambling. Thank you, Clue, for sending people over.
Police report, as you know, and we're not going to go over it again, was in Boise, Idaho, when we felt threatened.
Yeah, none.
And felt unsafe walking to our car. So we called dispatch to escort us to our vehicle. Okay, after that happened, that was when police said, hey, if you know, why don't I take an incident down? Because if you get a lot of incident reports, it's helpful.
Okay, and here's Dago's over there in the comments too. Dago, stop. I'm so very sorry for what you are going through. Having a channel myself in the true crime genre myself, I have been through the bullying and have been attacked many times, and it's not okay. It's not okay at all. I just wanted you to know you have myself and my community's support. Hold your head high, be strong, and keep pushing forward. You've got this. God bless, Lauren. You and your family are in our thoughts and prayers. Dago, stop it. Why are all these people doing the most? Should we all just go, I've been talked bad about too. Like, what? Why do people do this shit? The self-promoting in people's comments is fucking weird, people. It's fucking weird, man. Stop. And then somebody goes on to say, this is another one. This is happening to a smaller creator in true crime, allegedly with Brittany J, but way worse. They stalk her 24/7 online. They have called CPS, Dark Horse, and somebody else called CPS. None of us. Stop with the they, them. You look fucking foolish. Her physician. Who called her physician? Who the fuck did? Because that's a new rumor I haven't heard. Secondly, or next, the police. She's called her police more often than anybody else. And I sure as fuck called her police and gave them my information because the bitch is psycho and so are her subs, and tried saying I was a child predator. I got no fucking sympathy for her. Anyways, carry on. There are about 8 YouTubers who built a community on harassing her on every social media platform. Shut the fuck up. To that person, shut the fuck up. But they're all over there just fucking like, her comment section is gross. Okay, let me get moving on. Oh, and then there's a comparison of Mommy Rambling's blog too. The fuck? Okay, let me get to another part in this that I wanted to highlight. before I get rid of you guys. Can you tell I just had it? Lauren, you should have reached out to me. I'm just joking. I could have told you this was going to make it worse. I hate this too because I do believe that because of the people that Lauren has talked about and exposed within the LDS sectors, the offshoots within the crimes of Utah and stuff. Again, no shade against all Mormons because they're not all like this. We are speaking specifically about the people that have been connected to the Valo, the Daybell, the Visions of Glory bullshit. And Lauren has done a lot of good work exposing people in those groups. And I think that she's probably had a lot more shit come her way because of that. And I wouldn't be surprised to learn that some of these people were not connected in those capacities. In fact, well, there is one that I'm almost positive is. I just got to be able to trace it and then I can show you guys. But again, I truly believe that you cannot be a part of a genre, like you cannot be a part of true crime and continue to push for more access to victims' private moments. Lauren acknowledges she is a limited public figure. We're talking crime victims and their families. This has been done too. They had cameras in when Chris and Katie and the Bower Sox attempted to get an RO on Betty. They had cameras in there. Unfortunately, Lauren isn't the first one that this has happened to. And when you are part of a genre that pushes for this and you make a living off of doing this to victims and their families, you can't cry foul when it comes back and happens to you. I hate to say that because, again, my personal feelings on her aside, that is just the reality. So I'm going to play a couple more pieces of this, and then I'm going to play a video from one of the attorneys who is a part of this group that she mentions. And I want you to hear what she has to say because right now she makes more sense, which I hate to say that. However, we are missing about 99.9% of the details or the facts of what led to this. And I will acknowledge that too.
Has caused a mother to tell her husband she wanted to die, an 8-year-old child to live in fear for his mother's safety, and an employee to require psychiatric medication. The court must act to protect.
If you want to be creeped the fuck out, there's people that read it online. If you want to listen to it, it's a fucking disaster. We've listened to some of it when I used to cover quite a bit of the LDS stuff before. We've listened to chapters of it.
Protect this family from further harm. Signed Sunday, September 21st.
Yep, we got 23 minutes, Pika. I'm watching it.
And then what happened? As I prepared to go to this hearing, a media request. I couldn't see who it was. I thought maybe it was a small YouTuber. Like, there's no way. This is a civil stalking injunction. Do you want to know why abusers don't get out of abusive situations where there's coercive control and intimidation? Why are we sending media requests to a civil stalking injunction true crime community? Really, anyone, small or big? Small or big?
Lauren, where was your voice when this happened? Again, I'm not blaming you, but where was your voice when this happened to Chris and Katie Proudfoot and the Bower Sox? Again, you can have your personal feelings on whether they're involved. Right now, we have no evidence to prove that they are. There was cameras in the courtroom when they were getting protective orders or attempting all along against Betty.
Stalked and harassed their.
So I can't. Nobody spoke out. None of these big crime shows said a fucking word when this happened.
Family despite orders of protection. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilgus. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry was in court as a judge decided whether a criminal case against the YouTuber should move.
I'm sorry to act shocked about law and crime trying to use people's pain and suffering in their worst moments for fodder and entertainment. Are you people just waking up? Welcome to fucking Law and Crime and any of the other networks. That's what they do. People's worst moments is entertainment to them. They are your new age Jerry Springers. They're just packaged a different way.
Forward.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
For about an hour this afternoon, Katie and Chris Proudfoot testified against YouTuber Andra Griffin, also known as Bullhorn Betty, claiming she violated.
And again, these are private citizens. The Bowersox, the fact that Betty could even do this and they had to fight to get protective orders when she went from Florida to Tennessee, we shouldn't be dealing with any of this. None of this. But you cannot be a part of a genre that profits off of people's pain. And then when our court systems are being fucking weaponized and judges are making rulings to allow cameras in the court for an RO hearing, you can't be shocked by that shit. Our systems are fucked up. We don't have enough protection for victims and their families. And I hope this causes Lauren and people that support her to scream loudly that victims and their families deserve protections, including anybody going through that.
The terms of 3 order of protections.
Are you tagged in this video?
I am.
Okay, there's my point on that. Now, this is one of the ladies she speaks about. This is Lori Hellis. This isn't a very long video. Lori she used to come on Lauren's show as a legal correspondent. She is an attorney. Her channel name is Chasing Justice. The reason I'm playing this is for the other perspective, or one of the other perspectives. She is not the alleged stalker. She is associated with the alleged stalker. She is mentioned in Lauren's video numerous times, but I want you to hear what she has to say. Now, I do not agree that Lauren is dark. Not at all. Absolutely not. I do believe that she was greatly emotionally impacted by these cases throughout Utah. Of course, growing up in the LDS church, she has an understanding that many do not, especially in Utah. So I think these cases have impacted her, but to even say that she's dark is ridiculous. But I did like some of her take on this.
Hi, everybody.
This is 2 weeks ago. Oh, well, shit, the video's unavailable. How'd she do that? Lori, are you in here? How did she do that? How did that just happen? What? That was weird. Okay, that was really weird. Well, I think Lauren played some of it. I was just going to play it directly from her. So let me play what she has to say here. Lauren plays, I think, majority of it. Hank, quit. Well, that was weird. That was really weird. Strange. I can say that. Okay, here you go. I thought she played more of it. Here you go.
You guys see it? Can they see it? Oh. Okay.
I don't know. That's weird. Unavailable.
Do not go bully this woman, please, or just do anything to her. Do not.
She took all of it.
Hi, everybody.
I'm looking at her videos right now, and Chasing Justice took like all of those down. Weird.
I want to talk today on this recording about a little true crime community drama. Air out our dirty laundry, so to speak.
Wait, when was this again? A week and a half.
I do not. This was 2 weeks ago at this point. I do not know this woman. I am not giving her any go-ahead, but what she says from a legal aspect is valid. And the true crime community has been a shit show for years. Hello. Did you guys forget about Molly Golightly?
Go.
And some of you?
There is a particular YouTube creator who is stirring up lots of drama by weaponizing the law and law enforcement.
She absolutely is. People were going over and commenting on her videos over and over again. When I went to find that video so I could play the full thing, the comments were just fucking nasty. And her name is Lori Hollis. She is an attorney, and she used to come on Lauren's show as a legal correspondent.
Enforcement to target her competition.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Lauren, right here from Hidden True Crime, is the one that claims she has a stalker. This woman is associated or friends with the alleged stalker. She is an ex-friend of Lauren's and an ex-correspondent that she used to do shows with. The attorney with the headset on is somebody that Lauren used to do shows with, that is now friends with her alleged stalker. And Lauren claims that she is running and doing stuff on the alleged stalker's behalf.
She can't do that. You know how I know? Because I studied the Constitution and defamation law in law school.
She's talking about
Remember, I'm a lawyer.
This response from this attorney is about Lauren from 2 weeks ago. She actually gave her perspective after the CrimeCon debacle too. She had a video up about that, and I'm not seeing it on her page anymore either.
Lawyer. So let's talk about defamation and free speech. The U.S. Constitution and all 50 states protect speech.
BJ, listen up.
Congress shall make...
That's why I wanted that video, and I'm sad she took it down.
No law abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. That's in our First Amendment. Free speech is so important that there are literally hundreds of cases reiterating the right of citizens to speak freely. Now, the courts have put some
From who, Lauren? From who?
Guardrails up around.
Is it about me? Do I really? I want to know.
Around speech. For example, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. It's not a violation of your free speech to prohibit obscene content from being distributed to people under 18.
Lauren, tell me who it's about and who it's by, please. I might already know.
And you can't threaten someone with violence. However, in 2023 in Counterman versus Colorado, the U.S. Supreme Court wrote, although true threats of violence are outside the bounds of the First Amendment protection, the First Amendment requires proof that the defendant had some subjective understanding of the threatening nature of their statement. In other words, it's not enough for the complainer to say they felt threatened. Although most of the cases deal with when the government can curtail free speech.
No, you don't. You're not crazy. It's wild. It's going to get wilder too. Yeah.
All those rulings apply to private citizens as well. So,
wait, that fat bitch is talking about my nieces? Ooh, she really wants a reaction, doesn't she? No, let her talk. You can send it to me, of course, so I have it.
So what recourse does someone have?
Dirty bitch.
Well, it's a suit for defamation. But let's be clear. It's a high bar to jump because of our reverence for freedom of speech. In order to prove defamation, a plaintiff has to prove that the content was untrue and the defendant knew or should have known that it was a...
No, you can send it to me. I'll keep it for safekeeping. That bitch is a grimy fucking bitch. I just talked about how she was the one that went searching for the stuff on Clue's mom's Facebook from 6 years ago. So I'm sure she's a little fucking salty. Dirty bitch.
Lie.
What?
She just keeps getting exposed over and over again as the real life fucking piece of shit she is. I'm sure she's salty. And what does she have? To talk about my family. Let her talk. They're amazing. She's not.
Even at that, if the person is a public figure, say a person with 317,000 YouTube followers.
320 now, thank you.
That plaintiff has to prove actual malice. So here's the factual story. There's a YouTube creator.
Maybe I'll do give her what she wants and rip her to shreds. Not right now, though.
Creator who's a mean girl.
We got to get through this so we can get to Duchess's.
When she's feeling threatened by someone else's success, she goes on the attack, just like some of your old middle school friends used
Kind of sounds like BJ, doesn't it?
to do.
Stop it.
I appeared on this creator's show for nearly a year as her legal expert. I liked doing it, and I thought we had become friends.
So did I.
However, when some of her early followers started saying that they only tuned in to hear my legal analysis, she decided to end our association.
Yeah, they do.
That's not why I decided if everybody was tuning in for her legal analysis,
For anybody making a comment about what Lauren just enlightened us about her talking about my nieces or whatever was said, I don't fucking know, nor do I care. When dirty, grimy bitches don't get the reaction that they want, this is the links they go to. Now, remember, she sits by people I at one time considered friends. She's never been in that group. I've always thought she was dumb. So let her continue to make herself look foolish. I really genuinely do not give a fuck about her because, well, never mind. I mean, that bitch is so dumb. She thought popping the top off a flower was going to regrow the flower. Come on now, people. She has to talk about people's children because she has no intelligence outside of that. So I appreciate Lauren telling us, but you just got to laugh at some of this shit at some points. It's like, what the hell?
Oh, why would I end our association? I would keep her because I care about hidden true crime.
It was her right, and I said nothing about it. When people asked me why I was no longer on her channel, I either didn't answer or I suggested that they ask her directly. For 3 years, I stayed quiet, took the high road, and kept keeping on.
There really wasn't a big reason. There really wasn't.
I wrote a book about a true crime case. In early 2024, this creator somehow got a copy of an early version of my manuscript. And unbeknownst to me, and without my permission, she distributed my copyrighted material to her followers.
No, I did not. And I have to say, it's quite rich to do a video about death.
Tammy's like, nope, you're not responding. Do not. Yeah, I won't. I probably won't because it's really not worth it. And they're just showing you who they are. And all of the people that sit in their chats with wrenches, they're showing you once again who they are.
Defamation while defaming me.
She gloated to friends about how she was undercutting my future success.
No, I didn't.
I also began contacting my publisher, bombarding them with demands. And
you know what it also does? Deadheading gets rid of a lot of stupid asses that hide under alts in your chat.
Claiming that I had plagiarized her materials, trying to interfere with my business relationship with my publisher.
I can't stand.
I did not bombard them. I did write them once.
I think BJ, I wish she would have left this up so BJ could have heard this.
Then in May of 2020.
And
there's definitely more to the story going on that we don't know.
Her publisher then wrote me accusing me of doing this thing that I've proven I haven't.
Before someone sent me a copy of the email she sent out to followers with.
Now, again, this woman is not who she calls the alleged stalker.
My manuscript attached.
That's
the person said they want.
If that's my fact checker that did that, then okay. I don't know who would have done that.
Like this.
I told you, I've been very clear and very on I told you guys, all of you, who I have sent this book many.
That's how you deadhead somebody in the chat. Go show your love for Jones and elsewhere. Thanks. Bye.
Script too, and nobody else
wanted me to know because they didn't think it was right. And when the creator found out, she immediately called the police to report that the person who'd sent me the email was the culprit.
I have no idea what she is talking about. I have never called the police about her or some random person that allegedly, supposedly sent her an email. I have no clue.
This creator.
Oh my God, Clue. Her fucking pathetic, BJ's pathetic subs over in Lauren's comment section trying to like get attention off of this and be like, oh, BJ's had it worse than you have. Make me sick.
Claimed that that person had hacked her computer to send out my book.
Oh, it's good. I'm just being a shit.
No clue.
This is this creator's MO. When they realize that they've screwed up,
that person just gives me yep vibes. Whoever that person is just gives me yep vibes. And I just, ugh, whoever it is, they just wear on my skin. And I'm just feeling that way.
Lie, they shift attention, they weaponize the police, and she plays the victim. During CrimeCon this year, she swore out a stalking order against one of her former friends, who's also a true crime creator.
Hey, stop it.
As a result, that person was unable to attend the event she'd paid for.
No, she's not.
And at one point was humiliated by being escorted out of the hotel by bar police. The hearing for that stalking order was started, and it then continued until October. In the meantime,
none of us do. None of us know the truth in this story, and that's unfortunately reality. None of us know what the actual truth. We're missing too much. And what we were shown in this 9 hours, it only opens more questions, not answers.
the judge told the complaining creator that it is not stalking just because someone says mean things about her. This creator is not a victim. Her followers are. The people who believe she is a lovely person with a heart for crime victims are the real victims.
Now, I disagree with that. I do think Lauren does have a heart for victims.
The real victims are the victims of the crime victims who trusted her.
I do believe this, though, too. I believe that crime victims and their families are shit on for the story a lot.
While she said vile things about them behind their back.
Not true. Stop with this narrative. This is a smear campaign.
I don't have any knowledge of her talking shit about crime victims behind their backs.
The people who are on fixed incomes who still find a way to send her a few dollars every month, they're the victims.
She sounds like she's talking to BJ.
So, ma'am, it's not defamation if it's true. And it's not stalking just because you don't like it. When people tell the truth.
Yeah, this is the lady that she brought up as the attorney that used to come on her shows as a legal correspondent. This is who this is. She's playing her video. She mentioned her quite a few times. This woman is friends with the alleged stalker. This whole situation is so complex and convoluted, it's hard to even weed through it.
About your vicious, unethical, dishonest, and unkind behavior. You're running scared because you're afraid that the 317,000 people who support your way of life might finally learn the truth about you, and you might lose your cushy lifestyle. You are a middle school mean girl in an overfilled, Botox grown woman's body. Grow up. There's an old adage that says, if you come for the king, you better not miss. When you start weaponizing the law to destroy your competition, you better be right, because there are a lot of us out there who actually know and understand the law.
Seeing that right there, I don't know what is going on there, but there's something there. There's something more to this, that all of this is, I think we're going to see more and more. And again, I have nothing to say about that attorney or whatever. I was just explaining who she was and that whole thing. That does apply to BJ, though, very well. But I think we're going to find out more and more as things come out. There's just a lot of, huge blissful ignorance, massive chunks missing. There's got to be way more to this, because as of right now, we just don't have enough of the story in any way, shape, or form. There's just not enough. And if it's about her safety, if her safety is really at risk, she would have followed through, in my opinion, with getting the injunction, the permanent injunction, because she turned it into content anyways. I get not wanting law and crime to do it, but unfortunately, when we are, as a society, celebrating people digging into the privacy of victims, and victims are being stalked, drones flown over their houses when there's no evidence, people outside their houses, look what they do to family after family after family. When we are setting that as acceptable behavior and the courts aren't even protecting victims and their families, or struggling to, you can't be shocked when you go to the courts and they do the same thing. We just can't. I think we're headed into an arena where we're going to see a lot more of this. And it's really, people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. How Lauren hasn't experienced some of this before is shocking to me. And there is huge, 99.9% of this story is missing. And I think we're going to hear bits and pieces, and it's going to be, unfortunately, really hard to decipher what's truth and what's fiction. because there's a lot of people with credentials and seen as professionals in this space, you know, attorneys and mental health professionals. I need to remind you, we have a attorney that sells a deck of cards by the name of Deception Detective. And nobody even knows if that man's an actual attorney or not, because nobody knows who he is. These are dangerous areas that this place is headed to. And I've been screaming that for 3 freaking years. And unfortunately, Lauren is now a product of the environment that her genre has created. I mean, they're doing tours. Annie Elise did a fucking tour. A tour. Because she hosts a true crime podcast. Like, what the ick is that? That's Tallulah. That's the perfect example. The ick. The ick of all of this. And how BJ's people are over there trying to compare the two. Please stop that shit. You look silly as fuck. I like Dr. John Turtles. I like Lauren. Personally, I like Lauren's coverage. I love anything to do with the LDS that she covers. I love that. She has been my go-to for the LDS true crime stuff because she is so knowledgeable in those spaces. But this is a whole other situation that I feel like we're getting misled on many angles, and I don't know from who or why yet. So we'll just see what goes on. Okay, I'm going to ship you off. Duchess is doing Scott Spivey. If you don't know about that case, you want to hear some real fucking corruption, come join us over at Duchess's. That's where I will be redirecting you to. It's amazing. I did too, Kim. I do too. 100% agree. I agree. I think that this made it way worse. And I worry that her safety, if it wasn't at risk before, it will be now. Oh, G14. I don't even know who that is. I don't know who Gigi is from Pretty Lies and Alibis. Oh my gosh, Wine Crime and Mayhem. If you guys want a good true crime story, now this is Scott Spivey just a little bit before you guys get shot over there because she does an intro, which we will head to. But Scott Spivey was shot in a road rage incident, but they have audio of him talking to one of the officers. There was one of the officers caught on body camera footage that he writes on a piece of paper and tells the gentleman who shot Scott Spivey how to act. It is so corrupt and so fucked up, and the police are involved, and it's crazy. It is absolutely horrifying to know what his sister is going through and how she's fighting for justice for her brother. And the corruption is astounding. It is disgusting. And Duchess does a great job covering this. So come join me over there. I will see you guys there. Thanks for hanging out with me. I might see you guys. I'm not going to see you tonight. I'm not responding to her. Let her fucking talk. Lauren, thank you for letting me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys soon. Bye, y'all. Oh, Elma, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Okay, bye. Hank, shush.